Today I came out to ask you one simple question. What do you want out of your life? Now I can tell you at 18 years old, your boy was sick and tired of one thing. That one thing, guys, I was sick and tired of being broke. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about myself so you know where I'm coming from. I came from a two-parent household. Mom and Pops both worked, but Pops had one of them good jobs. You feel me? Pops worked at the post office, so Pops was making that good money. But I don't know about any of y'all, but just because my parents was getting to the bag didn't mean I was. Now, of course, I had the necessities. I had a roof over my head. I had food on the dinner table. And yes, I was extremely grateful. But was I wrong for wanting more? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to pull up in a new car. Yes, I had a 1997 Toyota Corolla. Yes, it got me from point A to point B, but I was trying to pull up in something fly. You feel me? Also wanted a few motorcycles. Yes, keyword few. At the time, I did have one, and I was grateful for it. It was a 2007 Ninja 250. It was just kind of slow. You know what I'm saying? It was hard keeping up with the faster bike, so I wanted a faster bike, and I also wanted a cruiser. I wanted like a Harley style bike, right? And then the last thing I really wanted at that point in my life was I was ready for a crib of my own. I don't know about y'all, but I was sick and tired of living at home under my parents' roof. Pop's talking about, hey, Devin, go outside, cut the grass. Mom talking about, hey, Devin, go grab your shoes off the porch. What you think this is, a shoe store? Like, oh my gosh. Yo, I wanted to live like a boss, for real. So I set the goal. I decided to set the goal to live like the king that I knew I was. I took the college route. Ended up going to the University of Akron, majored in business, got a degree, graduated early, and got a job making $55,000 a year for a big trucking and transportation business. I was on cloud nine, y'all. I had made it. I got the new car off the lot, brand new, 2018 Toyota Camry SC. Couldn't tell me nothing. I ended up getting the motorcycles, had the Gixxer 1000. Don't pull up on me. Don't pull up on me at that light. And then I also had the Harley Davidson Street Glide. And then I even got the crib of my own, guys. I finally got to move out of Mom and Pop's house. Like I said, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was on cloud nine. But there was only one problem. And that one problem was I hated my job. The car, the bikes, and the house meant nothing because I was waking up every day depressed, going to a job that I hated in order to be able to afford all the nice stuff, all the materialistic stuff that I had acquired. Anybody ever been there? Anybody ever fell into a season of depression? Has anybody ever wanted something, but once you got it, you realize you really wanted something else? This was me, 20 years old and lost. I was on YouTube one day and I came across this video of this guy, and he was talking about success and he was talking about happiness. And he was basically defining success as waking up every day and being happy. Not defining success off of what I have been defining success off of by my materialistic possessions that I had acquired. On this day, that changed. On this day, I decided that I was going to decide what it is I wanted out of my life and go get it. I was going to create my own definition of success for my life. So I asked myself the $1 million question. Devin, what is it that you want out of your life? I wrote down everything, guys. I wrote down everything. I wrote down everything I wanted out of my life at that point. I wanted to eventually marry my girl, so I wrote it down. I wanted to be able to give back. I wrote it down. I wanted to be able to have the nice things without having to work a job that I hated in order to have them. Wrote it down. I wanted to make God proud. And most importantly, I wanted to be happy. Now, it would have been nice if I could say that the next day I woke up and I was living a totally different life. You feel me? Like I was living a totally different life. All those things that came true, that'd be a cute little happily ever after story, right? See, that wasn't the case though. Great things take time. Now that I was crystal clear on what it is I wanted out of my life, it was time to make it happen, guys. It was time to go get it. Has anybody in the room ever realized that when you want something that you've never had before, sometimes you got to do some things that you ain't never done before? This was me. I realized that the first thing I needed to change if I was going to go after all those things that I wanted was I needed to change the people that I was hanging around. I realized that most of my time throughout my week was being spent at the job that I hated, around other people who also hated their job. Guys, we were losers. Why? Because we were losing for the majority of our week because we were going to a job that we hated for over 40 hours throughout our week, hating every second of it. So the first thing that I did was I changed the people I was around. Now, I don't know about you, but I didn't have a bunch of successful people around me. So I turned to YouTube. Y'all, I realized that YouTube was filled of people who were living their best lives. So I started watching all sorts of YouTube channels, y'all. I was watching car channels. I'm watching motorcycle channels because you know your boy love them bikes. My girl had me watching relationship channels. I'm even trying to get my bag up, y'all. I'm watching money and finance channels. Y'all, I was so inspired watching YouTube, I decided to even start my own channel. Things slowly started changing for me, y'all. Day after day, my mindset started changing. Instead of feeling like a victim in my situation that I was in, hating my job, waking up every day being depressed, all of the success that now surrounded me caused me to feel like a victor. I was walking different, y'all. Some say I was even talking a little different. But that's because I was thinking different. One of the things that I learned during this time of my life was that I could buy something called a duplex. Anybody in the room know what a duplex is? Okay, some of you. So for those of you who don't know what a duplex is, it's a small apartment building. It's basically a house with two houses in it. So you got one door for one unit, and then you got another door for another unit. So one of my YouTube mentors, he put me on. He was like, Dad, this is what you can do to get out of that situation that you're in. He said you can buy a duplex, live in one side, rent out the other side. The person that you're renting it to on the other side is then gonna pay for the whole building that you're living in. So you're gonna basically be able to live there for free. Then you're gonna take that house that you bought and you're gonna rent that out because you don't need it anymore. You living in a duplex now. You're gonna rent that house out, and that's gonna help you to make extra income. And if you do that, you'll have enough income coming in as to where you can get out of this job, maybe take a lower paying job to figure things out, decide what it is you truly want out of your life, and figure everything out. So I was like, this actually sounds like really, really smart. Like, why didn't I think of that? I just never had thought about it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wow, okay. This is the move. This is what we got to do. This is what we going to do. So I decided that I was going to buy a duplex that was going to enable me to leave the job that I was unhappy with in order to pursue my dream and goal of living my best life every day, right? Being happy every day, like that random video on YouTube was talking about. So that's what I did. I set the goal. I was like, I'm about to buy a duplex. And in order to do that, it required me to stay at the job that I hated for a few more months to save up enough money for the down payment. Now, I just told y'all how much I hated. I was depressed. I hated going to this job every day that caused me to be unhappy. You telling me I gotta stay for a few more months? Yo, I ain't talking a few days. I'm not even saying a few weeks. I gotta stay a few more months in order to save up enough money to be able to buy this duplex? Y'all, I wasn't feeling that. I was not feeling that. But I will say this. What I've learned on my journey of success is that sacrifice comes before success. even in the dictionary. If I wanted to make this dream of being able to leave this job that I hated and make this dream of living my best life happen, this is what I had to do. So I decided to control my mind, and I stayed positive even though I did not want to wake up and go to that job any longer. I stayed positive. I pushed through. And it worked, guys. It worked. We ended up finding a duplex. A couple months later, Dom and I were moved in, and I was leaving that job that I hated to pursue bigger and better things, guys. Here we are, 2 years later. Y'all remember all the things I told y'all I wanted out of my life, right? I said I eventually wanted to marry my girl. I wanted to be able to have the nice things, but I didn't want to have to work a job that I hated in order to have them. I wanted to make God proud, guys. I wanted to be able to give back. And I wanted to be happy, guys. I wanted my life back. I wanted to wake up and be happy. Well, guys, your boy ain't married yet, but I did get down on one knee. Wedding coming very soon near you. The garage is filled up with a bunch of legendary toys, guys. We got 2 legendary whips. We got a 2001 GSXR 1000 in the garage. We got a 2006 GSXR 600. We got a 2016 Harley Davidson Street Glide Special. The coolest thing about it, guys, is I no longer have to work a job that I hate in order to have all of the nice things. Guys, I'm blessed to have a YouTube channel in which I've inspired several 100,000 people. I would say God is proud of me. I'm doing what he's called me to do. And most importantly, guys, your boy is happy. What do you want out of your life? I truly believe that in order to be super successful, there's 5 keys that I believe you need to follow in order to accomplish anything and everything you ever wanted out of your life. Number 1, after asking yourself what it is you want out of your life, when you close your eyes and you dream and you see that thing that it is you're chasing, or that feeling, or whatever it is that you're chasing, whatever it is you want out of your life, that's the goal. So the goal for me was to get out of that situation that I was unhappy in. And in order to do that, I needed to buy a duplex so that I could make some money outside of my job so that I could transition, right? So that was my goal. So I wrote it down. I wrote it down on a sheet of paper. Why did I write it down? It's something about seeing your goal written down on a sheet of paper in your handwriting that it does something in your mind. It makes it real. It makes it possible that you can actually achieve that goal that you're chasing, right? So I wrote it down. I didn't stop there though. When I wanted a duplex, guys, I didn't stop from just writing it down. I looked at it every single day. Why? I had to constantly remind myself of what I was waking up every day to do. I had to remind myself why I was going to that job that I hated. I was going to that job that I hated so that I could save up enough money for my down payment to put down on that property, right? So every morning when I woke up, when I wasn't feeling like going to that job that I did not want to go to, I was reminded that I'm going here for a reason. And if I follow through with what I'm trying to do, I ain't gonna have to come to this job for too much longer. And that's what it was. Number 2, you gotta hang out with people that are going up. Yes, you gotta hang out with people that are going up. How many of y'all in this room are trying to win? Dang, look like all of y'all. That's dope, because me too. But what does it look like for us trying to win if we surrounded ourselves around losers? I told y'all in my story that I was hanging around people at the job that also hated their job. I needed to get from around them. And I told y'all I didn't have a bunch of successful people around me. I didn't have a bunch of people who were trying to go to that next level, y'all. I didn't. So I turned to the internet. I turned to books. I turned to podcasts. I did what I had to do. If you don't have a bunch of successful people around you, don't make excuses talking about, well, I don't have nobody around me, so I'm just going to hang around the people that, no, like, stop. No. You have access to books. You can go to the library, read your whole life away, right? You can have access to whoever you want. You have access to the internet. You can go on YouTube. You can listen to podcasts. You have to level up your thinking. And the only way to do that is to hang around people who are going up. Number three. Number three is you have to stay positive, because positivity brings forth opportunities. I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. I sort of skimmed over it when I was telling you like my little mini life story. But when I was in search of that duplex, I told you I had to stay at the job that I hated for a little while longer, right? A few more months, which was a long time. It wasn't days, it wasn't weeks, it was months, right? And got to a point where after a couple months, I had finally saved up enough money to put down on the duplex. The only issue was I didn't have a duplex to buy. I had been looking. My agent was showing me all these properties, but nothing really made sense for what I was trying to do. So I probably looked at about 10 properties, y'all, and nothing came about. Now, I could have fell back into a season of depression. I could have said, you know what, forget this goal. I'm just going to stay at this job I'm happy with. And whatever, man, this is just what life has came to. But no, that ain't what I did. I stayed positive. I controlled my thinking. I said, I am gonna figure this out. There is more to my life than this current situation. And I have to believe. And that's what I did, guys. I believed, I had faith. And eventually, my agent called me on some random evening. I had got home from the job that I hated. And she was like, hey, I think I found the one. I went and rolled past it. A month later, we were moved in. And why is that? I stayed positive. I stayed positive because positivity brings forth opportunities. And whatever it is you chasing, you got to understand that you got to stay positive. You got to be the light in the darkness. We live in a very negative world. There's always something negative going on. If you don't believe me, just turn on the news. You'll see it for your own self. But you got to understand that you're not going to get to where you're trying to go being negative. Negativity is going to bring forth problems in your life, but positivity is going to bring forth those opportunities. So stay positive, control your mind. Number 4, I realized that if I was going to be super successful, I couldn't be out here doing what everybody else is doing, right? Everybody be out here doing whatever they be doing, but I realized that I couldn't be out here moving like that because I had a goal in mind that I was chasing. For example, I realized that when I was saving up to buy this duplex, a lot of my friends were going out and getting new cars. Now, mind you, the cars was legendary, right? They was out here doing their thing, but I realized that, I can't be out here going out and getting a new car if I need money for my down payment on this property that's going to help me reach my goal of leaving that job that I'm unhappy with, right? So I had to level up my thinking. I was like, you know what? Everybody out here doing this, but I got to do this if I'm trying to get to where I'm trying to go. You in your seat, you getting ready to graduate from high school, right? Right? You about to graduate. Well, guess what? While everybody else out there going out and going to colleges that they can't afford and getting no scholarship, so they taking out all student loan debt, you got to be different. You got to say, you know what? If this school is giving me a bunch of scholarship money, I'm about to get the same education. I'm about to get through here. And when I graduate, I'm not about to be drowning in student loan debt, right? You about to be good. Whereas this person over here who wanted to go to the schools that they really couldn't afford, that was offering no scholarship dollars, they about to be drowning in student loan debt. So when they graduate and they get their good job, most of their money about to be going to pay off the debt. Whereas your money can be free to start investing, to start making it make more money, and you can build wealth, get rich. Why they gonna be kind of behind because they was doing what everybody else was doing, right? So number 4, you cannot be out here doing what everybody else is doing if you got a goal in mind. The path to success, guys, is sometimes lonely. You got to learn how to stay in your own lane, keep your eyes on your own paper, because the test that life is giving you, your answers are different than their answers. And that's a fact, guys. That's a fact. Number 5. Number 5 is simple, but it's so important, guys. Number 5 is don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. From the words of the great Nipsey Hussle, he once said, "The marathon continues." Something that I need all of you to realize in this room right here today is you need to understand that success is a marathon. Success is a journey. Success is not a sprint. I see so many people on a day-to-day basis who will be more successful than their wildest dreams, guys. But they fall victim to thinking that success is a sprint. They're out here trying to take shortcuts, which end up really setting them back. On my journey, guys, it would have been nice, like I said, if once I decided that I wanted to change my whole life around and be happy every day and I could just buy a duplex the next day, and that would have been sweet. That would have been a cute little happily ever after story. But the reality is life don't work like that. You got to go through it to get to it. That's just what it is. I had to go through it. I had to go through several months of saving up that money. As hard as it is to save money, especially when you see everybody around you living their best life, going out, going to the club, buying alcohol, living their dream. I'm out here staying in so that I can save money. I finally get all my money saved, right? I'm ready to buy that duplex. And then I can't find a deal. So I'm still stuck. I got the money saved, but I can't even find a property to buy with it. You got to go through it to get to it. Whatever you do, don't give up. Because when you push through, eventually, you're going to get what you started this journey for getting. So push through. Don't give up. Guys, I live by 5 principles in my life, man. I set the goal. I decide what it is I want. I ask myself the question, Devin, what is it that you want out of your life? I set the goal. I hang around people that are going up. A lot of times in my life, I ain't have them around me, so I had to find them via the internet, via books, via podcasts. You got to do what you got to do. Number 3, I stay positive. It'd be nice to say, on this journey to success, it's always a happy journey. You always smiling. Like, no, it ain't like that. A lot of times it's negative. A lot of times it don't look like you're going to get what you set out to get. It don't look like you're going to be able to accomplish that goal, but you got to have faith and you got to believe. You got to believe. It's a mindset game. Number 4, you can't be out here doing what everybody else is doing. Everybody going to be doing whatever. You got to stay in your own lane. Success can be lonely sometimes, but if you stay in your own lane, eventually you will get to where you're trying to go. And number 5, you cannot give up out here. Giving up ain't going to get you to your goals no faster, so ain't no point in doing it. Push through until you get to where you're trying to go. Decide what it is you want out of your life. Follow those 5 keys and go get it. Thank y'all for having me. My name's Devin Clark. Peace. What's going on, guys? It is Devin Clark. I just got done speaking to some amazing high school seniors and they got me fired up. But anyways, guys, I want to thank you again for checking out this video. If you are looking to book me for your next school or organization or event, please reach out to me on my website at devinclarkinspires.com. You guys have a great day. Peace.